Did you know that we spend around 2 hours and 53 minutes being productive in a full-time work day? And what amazes me about that is it's proof to all of you out there that if you are a small business owner or you want a side hustle, you can produce full-time work outside of your full-time job to get your side hustle going. But what I think is even more interesting about this fact is that when you look at the study, 41% of the participants have all stated that they were really affected by stress when it came to productivity. So during my 15-year corporate career, we spent many training programs learning how to cope with stress and also how to be really productive off our own accord. Because if you think about it this way, a corporate, they don't want to manage you. They want you to be able to absolutely fly and own your area. You're essentially a cog in a very large wheel. And the more independent you are, the cheaper it is for them to retain you and to run you as employees. So taking all of these concepts, I'm going to show you the 5 things that I have tried and tested and done for many years to stay productive that are going to help you so much. And they're going to really reduce your stress levels and help you produce amazing work day in and day out.
I'm Deborah Luckham, ex-corporate marketing director of 15 years, where I served and scaled over 57 FTSE 500 brands, some into the billions of revenue, before co-founding Networth Nomads, where we've helped solopreneur clients make millions selling online courses using knowledge they already have. If you're stuck in a career or life that no longer makes you happy and are looking for a proven way to maximise your freedom whilst building generational wealth beyond the scope any 9-to-5 ever could offer, we help you find your true purpose and set up a freedom-based course business just like we did. Today, we work from anywhere with flexible 4-hour workdays, slow mornings, and completely prioritising our physical and mental well-being. And it's not as hard as you might think, even if you feel you lack the time, energy, and budget to get it off the ground. We're proud to say our business changes lives, and all whilst we enjoy more freedom than we ever imagined possible. Together with my husband Grantly, we've been coaching for 12 years, served over 10,000 clients online, and created the Freedom, Wealth and Purpose podcast to give you simple, actionable, step-by-step systems to build a course business that's automated and develops your life's purpose. If you've been on the sidelines a while, seeing others making money online and thinking, can I do this? Or have already built a course but are struggling to sell, or have a service-based business and you'd really love to take it online, then you found your community and welcome you from everyone at Networth Nomads. Let's dive in.
So the first thing you might not even think is to do with your work, but it's how you start your day. It's how you set up your routine, how you get out of bed. And no matter what you're going through, no matter how happy or sad you might be in your life, it's really important that you start the day with good energy. And that means shifting out all the old stale energy from the day before. So believe it or not, if you start the day on your favourite playlist, some people meditate, some people do positive self-talk, affirmation stances, however you want to call it. If you are doing a practice that is going to bring you up and bring up your energy and make you happy, then you are going to start the day with more motivation and more productivity, because your stress levels will be lower, which means your focus and your attention will be higher. And when your focus and attention is higher, you're more coherent in your brainwave state. So this is actually a really quick win to have. And if some of you are getting up every day feeling overwhelmed because of your to-do list, overworked because of your to-do list, overloaded, or just feel like there's too much going on, my top advice to you on this, and I've been said this by many managers in the past, and when I started managing, I also gave this advice, which was drop everything. If you've got 10 things on your to-do list, it doesn't matter how important they are. Drop them all. Nobody's going to pass out and dial and keel over. It is just work. And I know if I've got the corporate gang listening right now, I know you're going to be thinking, you can't do that. You've got deadlines. You've got people to report to and all of this. But I did this in a corporate environment as well. I remember one time I was becoming very unproductive and I took my director's advice. I looked at my email inbox. It had 400 emails in it, and I deleted the whole inbox on the theory that if it was really urgent, they'd chase me for it. And do you know how many people chased me? The funny thing was no one chased me. And it helped me to understand that I was competent and I could pick up what was urgent when was needed. So translating that into your own business, and especially if you're working full time, you've got a side hustle, or if you're already working full time on your online course business, we all have goals and we all have aspirations of where we want to get. But if you feel overwhelmed, you will not get productivity. So it's better to do less and achieve more than it is to sit there with your big list and feel responsible for it. So I'm going to go on to point number 2, which is all about being a silver magpie. And I do remember once I was in my mid-20s and my director called me into the office and he said, Debbie, you're like a silver magpie. You just chase all of the things that glitter. You just want to do what's fun. And it's causing a huge distraction to your workload. And he was right. Essentially, what we do as beings, we naturally gravitate to what we love and we want to do the things that feel good. When we're outside of our comfort zone, we don't even realise that we're avoiding it, but we do avoid it. And then as a result, you end up still with a huge pile of things to do. So if you've got a side hustle or an online course already, I can guarantee to you that if you look at your list, there's a load of things that you know are going to move the needle that you aren't prioritising over things that you consider fun. And we as humans make up excuses to our own self as to justifying why we should be focusing on the fun things. So the advice I learned and the advice I would give to you now as someone that's been through this is look at your list. Does what's on your list move the needle? Does it need to be perfect? Just do the bare minimum or do what moves the needle and move on. All of the nice to have stuff actually is you having fun and it's a hobby, and sure, it's going to progress you to some level, shape or form, but it's not a priority for your business. So you probably don't even need to be working on it right now. The third thing that is so helpful for you to really understand in a corporate environment, when we have a plan, believe you me, no matter how much money we can throw hundreds and thousands at a campaign, we can throw millions at a campaign, but I guarantee to you, everybody's running around at some point like a headless chicken because our plan is always perfection, but the reality of the execution is always messy and it's always imperfect. So how that translates into a corporate environment is if I'm sat leading a team and we have certain deadlines, targets to hit within a time frame for a key trading period, we're not going to worry about all of the perfecting that needs to go on. We're just going to take messy action and we're going to move as fast as we can with everything we know will move the needle. That's how you grow businesses. That's how you float businesses on the stock exchange. And for your own side hustle or your own course business, you need to think with messy imperfection. Just move with speed. As long as you're giving value, then you are doing the right thing. And this is what's so interesting about perfectionism really, is that the ego takes control, because when you're in a corporate environment, it's not you that's at the forefront of the image. But when it's your own business, it is you, it's your personal brand, and you feel your reputation on the line if everything's not perfect. So very often we can hold on to things for way too long to perfect it because we're actually worried about what other people will think of us, or we're worried about putting something out that will be judged. But actually by doing that, we're creating more work for ourselves and we're not being productive. So have a look at everything you're doing and really, really dig deep and ask yourself, am I being a perfectionist? Can I move faster? And am I doing the things that move the needle? And that brings me on to point 4, which is to talk about your breaks. Now, you hear it all the time. Everyone will say, take a break every hour, take a break every 2 hours. It's really good for your mental health. It's good to stop fatigue. But it's more than that. It's actually a lot deeper than that. The energy in your body is becoming stagnant and emotionally attached to whatever task you're doing. So by getting up and walking around, you're actually removing all of the old energy and refreshing your entire being for another working stint. But I don't think enough people really consider the impact of working on technology. Before, we were constantly in front of mobile screens, constantly in front of laptops, working online. We were not exposed to the same level of radiation and EMF from our technology. And we also didn't have a pandemic of people suffering from burnout. And it has been scientifically proven that the blue light rays and LED lights that we look at constantly really affect our brainwave patterns. And they really affect us particularly in the early morning and the late at night. So when you hear all those biohackers out there talking about using a tinted screen in the early morning and late at night, and maybe not even using their phone an hour before bed, it's because they're working on their brainwave patterns. And the other other thing to consider around your productivity is that as the day goes on, more and more things come in that get added to your list. And that's just the nature of work. Even if you're working alone, come up with ideas of other things that need to happen. My advice to you is write them down, but always start the day with 3 things that you're going to achieve. Because if you start the day with just 3 things that you know you're going to achieve, all the other ideas can just go into a standalone to-do list. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to keep you calmer, and it's going to help you to be more coherent in your brainwaves. So if you're not fully familiar with all of the brainwave studies from people like Joe Dispenza, if I was summing it up simply, what I would say to you is your beta brainwaves are very incoherent when you're very busy. And by taking that break, you're doing more than just moving energy around your body. You're calming your mind down. And if you calm your mind down, your brainwave pattern is going to go more into that alpha state and more coherent, more relaxed. And when you're more relaxed, you're more focused and you're able to be more productive. So this isn't about learning to study brainwave patterns and learning to be all up to date on how to use all your technology to get the best night's sleep. But this is about setting a good routine for yourself, good tech hygiene, and really understanding that when you sit down at your laptop, you're not there to necessarily be comfortable. In an ideal world, none of us would be on laptops. We'd all be spending all of our time just connected to nature or socializing or being with family and doing nice things. So if you organize yourself and remember what you're there to achieve and really stick to that list, then you'll have the productivity that you really desire, and you'll be able to walk away with so much free time to spend with the ones you love or doing your hobbies. So start your day, write the top 3 things that you need to do and focus just on them. And the last one that will really help you stay productive is to address your phone. Now, we all admit that we spend too much time on social media or just looking at our phone in general, watching YouTube, whatever it is for you. And the reality of it is we are very addicted to our mobile phones. We spend way too much time going on the phone, getting distracted. And there are various ways that we can handle that. We can put it on silent mode and have it next to us. I like to run a timer so that I know that I'm working for that 60 minutes and that will put my whole phone on DND. But the battle that we're all up against is essentially that we use our phones to get a dopamine hit. We consume what we want to consume. We particularly look at our phones when we're trying to escape from something that we're bored of doing, struggling to achieve, or feel challenged with. And particularly when we work online, I struggle with this as well. It's that feeling of, well, I work on my phone. I need to look at my phone so that I can see what else is going on in my industry, or so that I can check social media whilst I'm doing other work. And I think for me, I found it super useful to just leave my phone in my bag or in another room where I can't actually touch it when I'm trying to be productive. And being completely honest with you, if you were on your phone or had your phone on your desk constantly in a corporate environment, it would be frowned upon. It would be something that was considered not working and a distraction from what they're paying you to do. So I think it's easier to be more strict when you're in a corporate environment. And when you're managing yourself, it can be very easy to do what feels fun, relaxing, and to choose your preference. So guys, have an amazing productive day. Don't forget to always start with a really positive routine, something that's going to shift your spirits and make you feel really happy and motivated. Don't be the silvercorn magpie like I was. Accept your messy progress. Take breaks so that you can help your brainwave states to go from beta to alpha. Control your phone use, and always start with the top 3 things that you want to achieve that day. And anything else that comes in, write it down on a bit of paper and come back to it. If you do those things, there's absolutely no reason why you can't build, create and run an online course business in a 4-hour workday. And that's all for me for now. Speak to you soon and take care.
Time is our most valuable resource, and every moment that we aren't fully happy or with purpose is a moment wasted. For us, waiting 40 years to retire and do the things we dreamed of when we were too old to enjoy them was really not an option we are willing to accept anymore. And having a course business has helped us make better choices. We've been able to gain freedom, work from anywhere, and prioritise our physical and mental health in a way no 9-to-5 ever could. And there's never been a better time than now to create an online course. With the e-learning industry worth $399 billion and set to reach $1 trillion by 2032, it means more buyers are looking to self-educate online, giving course creators predictable, scalable income that can create generational wealth. And it all starts with saying yes and taking action, even if it feels totally new or outside of your comfort zone. Through Networth Nomads, we offer ethical business coaching to help you identify and validate your course or coaching idea, build, launch and scale it using automations so that you can enjoy as much free time as possible. But more importantly than replacing your income or making 7 figures as some clients do, we help you develop your business mission for purpose so you can earn more to give more. So if you're ready to redesign your own life with intention and not by society's expectations but your own rules, then join us in a safe and supported environment where we give you a structured plan to follow. You can start with a free training to gain a deeper understanding of the opportunity, or if you're ready to work with us, you can join our programs directly using the links in the show notes. And if you have questions before joining and want a free 20-minute strategy call to explore how this can work for you, you can book a call. Simply follow the link best suited to you, and thank you so much for tuning in.